We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generations.
Bringing news just for you. It's Thursday, April 16th here in Seoul. I'm Lee Soo-jin, and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Q.
Thank you for having me.
Coming in, also Luan's with us today.
Great to be here.
Great to have you. And both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So we're now heading into the latter half of the work week, and today we're diving into something that never really goes out of style, and that's none other than Korean culture. From music and movies to food, fashion, everything in between, Korean culture continues to capture global attention in a big way. And because there are just so many sides to explore, we thought we'd kick things off today with a little Would You Rather game, putting some of your favorite parts of Korean culture head to head. So Kyun, would you rather only listen to K-pop for the rest of your life or watch only Korean dramas and films forever?
That's a tough one. That's a tough question. But I would choose Korean films as I'm a movie person myself. Now, there are, of course, many great K-dramas that you can watch on various OTT platforms, and of course, amazing K-pop songs like Swim, which I really enjoy and appreciate listening and watching to. But the greatest part of films is actually going to the movie theaters and experiencing the whole movie from start to finish with a live audience, including your friends and family members. So from the big screen to the surround sound systems, I love being immersed and fully focused on one single story, where it actually almost feels like I'm actually starring in the movie itself. Now, some of my favorite Korean films are The Host, or Kwe물 in Korean, and The Parasite, of course, that everybody knows, both of which were directed by Bong Joon-ho. Now, the most recent movie that I watched at the cinemas was Humin트, directed by Ryu Seung-wan, who also made the movie Veteran, or Veteran in Korean. Now, The Host and Veteran were released in 2006 and 2015, respectively. So
I can't believe it was that long ago.
20,
Wow,
like
that's
almost
crazy.
like, you know, like 11 years ago. So, but the interesting thing is that even when I watch it now, at this age, I still feel the same emotions and reactions when I actually first watched it in my teens and in my 20s, which I guess highlights the timeless beauty and the essence of these amazing Korean films. And that's why I choose Korean films over amazing Korean dramas and K-pop music.
I guess it also shows how well it was made too.
Yep.
So how was that movie, Human? Because I really like Veteran.
To be honest, Humin트, one of my favorite actors is the main character, Choi In-sung.
Who you happen to look
that's
like.
not because
He happens to look like.
That's not because that's not the reason I watched it, but I love Ryu Seung-wan movies. He has his own kind of twist to action movies.
He's one of the biggest directors in Korea.
Yes, and I love action movies, and the overall the story plot, it was amazing, and it's actually now out on Netflix if you want to watch it.
Oh, it's not
for free.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of for free.
I have to watch it.
Luan, what about you? K-pop or K-movies?
For me, it's a hard question, but I think I will choose K-pop for the rest of my life. I will listen to it because I love music and I love K-pop. And as a student, I don't have time to watch K-drama or K-films. And if I have like to choose my favorite K-pop artist, it would be TWICE or a boy group named VIX.
Oh, they're more of an older group, right?
Yeah,
Second generation.
I love them.
Is there a favorite like TWICE song or VIX song that you always go to listen to?
Of the VIX song, it would be, I think, Ever.
Ewa?
Ever. I don't know the pronunciation of it. And Voodoo Doll. I love it
Voodoo
too.
Doll.
Oh, that's a good one. What about for TWICE? What's your favorite
TWICE. I love I Can't Stop Me.
Oh, that's always upbeat.
Yeah. And I love singing it in the shower.
Oh, really?
Doing the high notes. Yeah.
So films offer that deep, immersive experience, while K-pop fits right into everyday life, no matter how busy you are, which makes it hard to pick a favorite, obviously. And that's why we're going to talk more about this. But first, let's take a look at the screen.
From music to film and television, it's hard to think of any part of Korean culture that hasn't made waves globally. Its storytelling and creativity have resonated with audiences all around the world. Today on News Generation, we take a closer look at which Korean cultural content is topping the charts according to a recent survey, the growing backlash amid the Korean wave's rise, and what lies ahead for the ever-evolving Hallyu phenomenon.
Just as we saw in the video, K-culture's global impact is hard to ignore, and now we're starting to see that influence clearly reflected in the data as well. So what does the latest survey reveal about global views about Korean content, Kyun?
A survey conducted by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism that targeted individuals in 30 regions worldwide revealed that 7 out of 10 foreigners who experienced the Korean wave or Hallyu have a favorable impression of Korea. Now, looking at the screen, countries from Southeast Asia and India were the top ranked by favorability. And what's notable was that regions such as the Americas and Europe, where favorability had been relatively low compared to other Southeast Asian countries, showed an increase compared to last year. The UK was up by 8 percentage points. Spain, the US, and Japan all went up by 6 percentage points compared to a year ago. So we're seeing this positive shift in foreigners' favorability towards Korean content.
That really is a striking level of global appeal. 7 out of 10 is definitely no small number. And it's especially interesting to see growth not just in traditionally stronger regions like Southeast Asia, but also in places like the US and Europe, where interest is clearly very much on the rise. And to get a more personal and in-depth perspective on this, we're going to speak with someone from a country where Korean content is popular. And that conversation is coming up right after a break, so don't go anywhere.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search out Channel Arirang News. Click Posts and cast your vote in the poll. Make a new type of news with us.
And joining us today is Jade, who's from the Philippines and is a longtime fan of various types of Korean content. So hello, Jade. Thank you so much for connecting with us today.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here again and share my knowledge about Korean culture here.
So Jade, why do you think Korean culture is so popular in the Philippines?
Well, I think Korean culture got so big in the Philippines because it's just like clicks and works for us. It's really relatable, the K-dramas, which are emotional with the themes of family love and sacrifices, which I think Filipinos naturally connect with. And at the same time, there's this aspirational vibe. Everything just looks put together. The fashion, the skincare, and even the food. And I think it makes you think, I want to try that. But yeah, it still feels within our reach, and also K-pop. It's like huge here in the Philippines. It plays a huge role. Groups like EXO, Big Bang, BTS, Blackpink, or even Twice, they just bring music to us. But also, they built a strong fan communities, which I think Filipino really love being part of. And of course, there's social media that made it even bigger. It's everywhere, so it's easy for us to access and get into it. And now I think it's not something that we watch every day. It's already part of our life, our daily life, like going out with friends to eat some samgyeopsal, having Korean skincare, or even like casually saying "잘 먹겠습니다" before I eat every day. So yeah, I think it's popular because it's relatable, aspirational, and something people can really be part of.
I just want to ask you a quick question. Is there like a Filipino version of 잘 먹겠습니다?
Yeah, I think we just say in my dialect we say mga onka.
I see. But you sometimes say 잘 먹겠습니다 in Korean.
Yeah, it just naturally says like 잘 먹겠습니다. Then I eat my food.
That's amazing. Jade, what K content or food is most popular in the Philippines right now?
Oh, right now in the Philippines, it's really a mix of, for the Korean content, it's a mix of K-pop and K-dramas and everything you see on TikTok. So we've got K-dramas and K-pops, and of course it spreads pass through platforms like TikTok nowadays. So it's like once you scroll and you see a dance trend, and then the next thing you see is like a K-drama that I didn't even plan to watch, but I'll get interested on. And when it comes to food, it's always samgyeopsal. It's one of the most popular um, dish here in the Philippines. It's not just about eating, it's more of shared experiences with friends, especially with the unlimited meat, unlimited side dishes, and even unlimited rice on the sides. And of course, there's Korean fried chicken and the ramyeon, which is also very common here in the Philippines, and even soju. Well, it became popular mainly because of the K dramas that people kept seeing all the time. So overall, it's no longer just the entertainment or the food. It's really something people actually experience and enjoy in their everyday lives.
I also love personally samgyeopsal, one of my favorite.
Yes, the
So-
best.
What's a lesser known part of Korean culture you wish more people knew?
Well, I think one lesser known part of Korean culture that I really find interesting is how much value is placed on discipline, the time and efficiency in everyday life. Like everything just feels very on point. People are punctual, systems run smoothly, and there's this like shared understanding that everyone's time matters. So compared to us Filipino, we really tend to be more a bit of relaxed with time, and being a little bit late, is pretty normal. So it's something I really noticed in the Korean culture, and I've noticed this, and I'm very familiar with this like pali pali system or mindset, which means like hurry hurry, right? So yeah, but it's not about rushing all the time. It's more about being efficient and getting things done properly without wasting time. So you can really feel it in your daily lives, I know. And yes, everything just runs smoothly and in a very organized way, which whether it's like in school, in work, or even in your daily services, like delivery services. So I think beyond what we usually see in K-dramas or K-pop, there's like a deeper culture of discipline and efficiency that really keeps everything run smoothly.
I'm really glad that you're interpreting the 빨리빨리, the really kind of rushed culture as something really positive. But it's funny because I visited the Philippines like 1 or 2 years ago. I went to Cebu, and I remember I was so impressed, obviously by the hospitality, which obviously Philippines are known for, but also because everyone was so laid back and very relaxed.
Yeah.
So I thought that was amazing. So it's kind of fun to see you appreciate the other side of it.
Yeah, of course, because I haven't been to Korea yet, but if I compare it with our life here, it's very laid back. And compared to how I see it in dramas and news, people was just like, oh, rush, everything, it delivers on time, straight in a day, I guess. I think, if I'm not mistaken. So you can just like correct me if I'm wrong. But yes, I'm very impressed with that. And I think that's a good way. And I think it's a good cultural side of Korea that I wish people would know about it.
Well, I think that is a pretty fair assessment, and thanks so much for coming on today, and I hope you get to visit Korea soon as well.
Yeah, I really wish to.
You should 빨리빨리 come to Korea.
Yes, I will pali come to Korea soon.
All right, thank
All
you.
right. Thank you
you
so
for
much.
coming on today.
Thank you.
So we just heard from our guest from the Philippines about the strong appeal of Korean culture and what's trending locally. And that popularity isn't just anecdotal, it's backed by data as well. So we talked a lot of a plethora of types of Korean content available. So which ranked the highest in the survey?
That's a good question. And according to the same survey conducted by the Culture Ministry, Korean food ranked the highest in terms of the popularity of Korean culture within the respondents' home countries. Food ranked the highest experience rate as well. So while Hallyu initially spread through K content such as music and dramas, it is now analyzed that K-food has become a core pillar of Korean culture. In fact, according to the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, Korean food service companies have expanded into 56 countries worldwide, approximately operating 5,000 outlets globally, again highlighting the growing popularity of Korean food to global consumers. And back in Australia where I lived as a kid, I heard from my friends recently that the Korean restaurants started booming from a couple of years ago, and you'll see so many Australians, locals, line up to these Korean barbecue restaurants and even to sundaekook restaurants, which is blood sausage soup.
I would not imagine that food to be popular.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but there's so many Australians who love this Korean traditional soup, and they're saying, "Oh, it's so nice." But then, if you just look at the name, people will be like, "Oh, blood sausage."
Right,
But once you
it's not-
try it, you'll be like, "Oh, this is why so many Koreans love this
This is
particular
so
soup."
good.
I see.
There's much more as well, including soju. That goes well with soup.
So Korean food is leading both in popularity and experience, and it shows how it's become truly a core part of Hallyu. So it's no longer just about what we watch or listen to, but also what we taste. And that global appetite for Korean cuisine is clearly expanding. So how is Korean food gaining popularity this time in Europe?
Korean food is getting more and more popularity back in Europe, and especially in France. Thanks to the Hallyu now, Paris alone has around 350 Korean restaurants or specialty stores. And France has the highest number of Korean restaurants in Europe. The most popular dishes, not only in France but also in Europe, is bulgogi, fried chicken, bibimbap, pork belly BBQ,
Ooh, the
and
classics.
and of course kimchi. Since last year there is even a kimchi day back in Paris, the 22nd November. And if I had to give a little TMI, my personal favorite Korean dish is the seafood soft tofu stew. It is magical. I
Is
love
it not
it.
too spicy for you?
It's not spicy.
Really? I mean, that is one of my favorite dishes too. So you have good taste. You have good taste.
Thank you.
So all this really shows how Korean food is becoming part of everyday life overseas. Now it's not just a quick trend. But of course, we can't forget about the other parts of Korean content, especially where it all began. So how are Korean content and Korean K-pop, I guess, performing globally?
Popular Korean content titles such as Squid Game, When Life Gives You Tangerines, Parasite, and Train to Busan continue to maintain strong preference, showing the lasting impact of existing mega global hits. However, the lack of newly emerging global hit content is something many Koreans and perhaps many international fans are waiting for. Meanwhile, K-pop has remained the #1 image associated with Korea for 9 consecutive years, demonstrating its continued global influence. And BTS, who recently made a comeback with their studio album Arirang, ranked #1 as the most influential Hallyu star. They also secured #1 in the favorite Hallyu singer category, reinforcing their global dominance. Notably, these results are based on 2025 data, which is much before their full group comeback, making the achievement even more remarkable.
Of course, BTS is the group that I'm sure everyone knows as
And
well.
they just began their world tour starting
yeah.
from Goyang, and I couldn't get my hands on the tickets, but I did go to Gwanghwamun to see their big
Oh,
comeback
Really?
a few weeks ago. Still didn't get to see them because of so many people. I saw them on the screen,
Was
but
it so crowded?
it was very crowded. But I just feel that I'm very proud to be Korean. I was proud to be Korean like 10, 20 years ago, but I feel even more proud because of the Korean content, how it's spread across the world, and how so many foreigners actually appreciate
Right.
these groups.
That's
It's
true.
what they
become, I
do.
feel like K-pop used to be more niche, but
It
because
was.
of BTS, it's now really mainstream
It's
now.
become mainstream.
But how is it like in France? Is BTS and K-pop, how popular are they is it in France?
and BTS and Korean content are really well received in France, making us the strongest European basis for Korean cultural consumption, with, of course, BTS as at its center. Indeed, back in France, everyone knows about BTS and their fan base, the ARMY being one of the biggest and passionate fan bases that could exist right now. They have sold out major venues in Paris, such as le Stade de France and Accor Arena. Not only is BTS famous, but also Kdrama with Squid Game or When Life Gives You Tangerines, and K-film with Parasite, winning a Cannes Film Festival, or The Great Flood. Korean content are highly praised in France due to their production quality, a clean aesthetic, and a unique narration. It now impacts French people's lives, with them enrolling for more Korean classes, trying and adopting the Korean beauty projects, and so on.
So it's clear the scale of the group's impact, not just among fans, but even at a national and cultural level, is quite big. But as Hallyu grows, it's not without its challenges, and we want to talk about that too. So what are some negative views on Korean content Hallyu that's going around these days, Kyun?
According to the Culture Ministry survey that we've been talking about today, 37% of respondents expressed agreement with negative perceptions of Hallyu, representing an increase of about 7 percentage points compared to 5 years ago. Now, this trend is interpreted as the result of multiple factors, including a growing sense of caution toward the rapid influx of foreign popular culture, as well as accumulated fatigue that comes from excessive content consumption and a growing sense of cultural difference.
Right, so I mean that does make sense. Like rapid cultural spread, and especially when it's so widespread, can sometimes lead to fatigue or even pushback. And along with that, there also can be some unintended side effects. So what other issues are emerging as it continues to grow?
One of the main issues emerging as Hallyu grows is cultural misinterpretation and stereotypes. Because global audiences are often exposed to selective portrayals of Korean life through K-dramas and K-pop, this can lead to simplified perceptions of Korean society. For instance, media representations may create the impressions that people in Korea conform to idealized beauty standards, that romantic relationships resemble fairy tales, or that the country is entirely safe. However, these portrayals reflect dramatized or curated aspects of reality rather than everyday life.
I think that's a really important point. So greater popularity also means a greater need for accurate representation and understanding as well. So as Korean content continues to spread, there's also hope for what comes next. So to close off our discussion for today, what do you hope to see next for Hallyu, Kyun?
I would just like to mention one. It's to create a steady pipeline of IP. Like I mentioned before, there's a heavy reliance on these big mega hits like the Squid Game and Parasite, but we haven't seen anything make a breakthrough come after that, like a global breakthrough. And just beyond dramas and films, I think diversifying into gaming, webtoon, virtual idols perhaps, and even AI-generated content could help. I guess it could be help Korean content evolve into the next chapter.
Well, there's still much to do. So what about you, Luan?
I hope Hallyu move beyond content into meaningful cultural experiences, such as more festivals, more food culture like cooking class or so on, more educational program across a wider range of regions rather than being concentrated only in major capitals. Like in France, like we can find only in Paris kind of, or like really famous city. It would allow the international audiences to actively engage with Korean culture and develop a more accurate understanding of Korean society.
Right, so as Korean culture continues to evolve, reaching people in different ways from what we watch and listen to what we eat and experience. While its global rise brings both excitement and challenges, its influence shows no signs of slowing down. And as Hallyu moves forward, it'll be exciting to see what new stories and trends capture the world next. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation, but Newsgen will be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Korea time with more stories and discussions. Big thanks to Q.
Always a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to have you, and also Luan.
It was a pleasure too, thank you.
And to our viewers, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this will inspire you to dive or swim even further into Korean culture, one playlist, one binge, and one snack at a time. We are
News Generation.